Galatians 3:19 and 20. I'm going to read again from the New Living Translation. Also, we'll read the verse 20 in another translation because it's a little bit different. Why then was the law given? It was given alongside the promise to show people their sins. So he's saying, here's the purpose of the law. Why have the law? It was given so that we would know that we were sinful. But the law was designed only to last until the coming of the child who was promised. So it was really only intended until Jesus came to show us our sin. And so God, he says, gave the law through angels to Moses, who was the mediator between God and the people. So God had the law, gave it to the angels, who gave it to Moses, who was the mediator between God and the people, so he gave it to the people. And verse 20 says, now a mediator is helpful if more than one party must reach an agreement. But God, who is one, did not use a mediator when he gave his promise to Abraham. That has a little bit more detail in it in verse 20 than, like, for instance, the King James that just says, now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but God is one. So New Living Translation is unpacking it a little bit to say, well, God only, who is one, he did not need a mediator when he gave the promise to Abraham again. Remember, this is about the promise given to Abraham, not the law given to Moses. The promise given to Abraham pointed forward to Christ. It did not point to the law. And so this word mediator here in different translations could be intermediary, arbiter, go-between. Hebrews 8 and 9 and 12 all use this. In Hebrews 8:6 he says, but now he hath obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises, talking about Christ. And in Hebrews 9:15, for this cause he is the mediator, speaking of Christ, of the New Testament. And so in Hebrews 12:24, and to Jesus, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of the sprinkling that speaks better things than of Abel. Obviously, we know that Abel's blood spoke out from the ground for justice to God, and he is saying that the blood of Jesus speaks of better things than justice. It speaks of grace, clearly. So as we unpack these scriptures again, what we're seeing here is he's just laying out the cause of why we had the law and why grace is so much better than the law. God didn't need that Abraham to have a mediator, because God was the agreement. He was making the agreement. In fact, he put Abraham to sleep and said, I'm making the agreement with myself, because you can't keep the agreement. And so he did not need to have a mediator when he spoke to Abraham. The mediation happened through the law, but then we know eventually that Jesus became the ultimate mediator of our covenant with God, a brand new covenant based on a better blood, better promises, as we see in Hebrews and throughout Galatians here. So I hope this has been helpful to you in some way. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.